The sun beats down on ancient stone as the crowd roars itself hoarse, a living tide of anticipation crashing against the walls of a colossal arena. Dust swirls in the air, scented with iron and sweat, and the gates on opposite ends of the Colosseum groan open. This is not a contest of skill alone or a clash of ideals, this is raw spectacle, power against cunning, fury against savagery. On one side lumbers Hulk's giant white tiger, a creature born of gamma-infused dominance, muscles rolling like storm clouds under snow-bright fur, eyes glowing with barely contained wrath. On the other stalks Joker's killer wolf, a nightmare shaped by chaos, its grin almost mocking, its eyes sharp with cruel intelligence. The crowd doesn't just want a winner. They want a story written in blood and dust. The giant white tiger enters first, each step cracking stone beneath paws the size of shields. It is not merely an animal scaled up to monstrous proportions, it is an extension of the Hulk's ethos, a living embodiment of rage given claws and fangs. Its shoulders rise like mountains, breath steaming in the heat as if the world itself cannot contain its power. Every movement radiates inevitability. This is a creature that does not stalk or sneak. It advances, because nothing has ever stopped it before. The roar it unleashes isn't a threat so much as a declaration. The fight is already over, it just hasn't caught up to reality yet. Then the killer wolf slinks into view, and the energy shifts. It is smaller, leaner, darker, its fur matted and scarred as though it has survived 100 impossible battles and learned something from each one. Where the tiger dominates through sheer presence, the wolf unsettles through intent. It doesn't roar, it smiles, lips curling back to reveal teeth stained with old victories. This is Joker's creation, and chaos clings to it like a second skin. It circles once, slowly, deliberately, as if measuring not just the opponent's size but its mind. The crowd feels it too, that electric sense that brute force may not be enough today. When the signal is given, the arena explodes into motion. The tiger charges, a white blur of unstoppable momentum. Stone shatters under its leap as it crosses the distance in a heartbeat, claws swinging with enough force to tear through steel. The wolf barely escapes, darting aside at the last second, the air where it stood ripped apart by raw power. Dust erupts, cheers follow, and already the contrast is clear. This is not a dance of equals. It is a collision of philosophies. One side believes in overwhelming force. The other believes in surviving long enough to turn force against itself. The wolf retaliates not with strength, but with precision. It snaps at the tiger's flank, testing defenses, probing for weakness. Its bites aren't meant to kill yet. They're meant to distract, to irritate, to plant seeds of frustration. The tiger whirls, tail like a battering ram, smashing into the ground where the wolf just was. Again the wolf slips away, always just out of reach, always leaving behind another shallow wound, another reminder that size does not equal control. The crowd begins to murmur. This isn't the swift massacre some expected. This is something smarter, darker. Anger builds in the tiger like a rising tide. Each missed strike fuels the gamma fire within it, muscles swelling further, veins glowing faintly beneath white fur. The Hulk's influence is undeniable here. Pain doesn't weaken this beast, it enrages it. With a thunderous roar, the tiger slams both forepaws into the ground, sending a shockwave rippling across the arena floor. Stone fractures, spectators gasp, and the wolf is thrown off balance, skidding across the sand. For the first time, the wolf looks vulnerable. The tiger pounces, jaws snapping shut with bone-crushing force, but the wolf twists midair, sacrificing flesh to avoid death. Blood sprays, dark against pale sand, and the crowd roars louder than ever. The wolf hits the ground hard, rolling, but it's not finished. It never is. As the tiger bears down, the wolf locks eyes with it, and something unsettling happens. There is no fear there. Only delight, only madness. The wolf lunges straight for the tiger's face, not to overpower, but to shock. Teeth rake across the tiger's muzzle, claws gouge at sensitive eyes, and for a brief, critical moment, the tiger recoils. It's enough. Joker's killer wolf thrives in those moments, the slivers of opportunity others overlook. It darts under the tiger's massive frame, hamstringing with vicious precision, targeting joints and tendons rather than muscle. The tiger roars again, this time in pain, staggering as its immense weight suddenly works against it. But underestimating the giant white tiger is a fatal mistake. Even wounded, even enraged, it is still a force of nature. With a violent twist, it slams its body sideways, crushing the wolf against a stone pillar. The impact echoes like thunder. The wolf yelps, ribs cracking, breath driven from its lungs. For a second, it looks broken, sprawled at the base of the pillar like a discarded weapon. The crowd holds its breath. This could be the end. The tiger advances slowly now, savoring the moment, each step deliberate. Blood drips from its wounds, but it barely registers. Victory feels close enough to taste. Yet as it raises a massive paw to deliver the finishing blow, laughter echoes across the arena. Not from the stands, but from the wolf itself. A low, rasping, unhinged sound that sends chills through even the bravest spectators. The wolf isn't done. Chaos never is. With a sudden burst of speed born from desperation and insanity, the wolf lunges upward, clamping onto the tiger's throat. It's not strong enough to crush, not fast enough to kill outright, but it doesn't need to be. It needs to hold on. Claws dig in, teeth refuse to release, and the wolf hangs there like a living nightmare. The tiger thrashes, slams itself against pillars, rolls across the sand, but the wolf clings tighter, driven by sheer will and madness. The arena becomes a whirlwind of motion and noise. Stone collapses, dust clouds billow, and the crowd screams in equal parts horror and awe. The tiger's movements grow more frantic, its strength still immense but now unfocused. Rage without direction. The wolf, though bleeding heavily, adapts with every second, shifting its grip, avoiding crushing blows by inches. This is Joker's philosophy made flesh. Survive the impossible, laugh at the inevitable, turn the opponent's power into their undoing. And yet, there is a limit to cunning when faced with endless strength. The giant white tiger plants its paws, digs deep into the arena floor, and channels everything it has left into one final act. With a roar that shakes the very sky, it rears back and slams its full weight backward against the ground, crushing the wolf beneath it. The impact is catastrophic. Dust erupts like a bomb, shockwaves ripple outward, and when the debris settles, there is silence. Slowly, painfully, the tiger rises. Its breathing is heavy, labored, blood matting its fur, but it is still standing. Beneath it, the killer wolf lies motionless, its grin finally faded, chaos spent. The crowd erupts, the sound deafening, a tidal wave of triumph and disbelief. This was not a clean victory. It was not easy. It was survival through overwhelming force tempered by just enough instinct to endure madness. In the end, the giant white tiger wins not because it is smarter or more cunning, but because it is relentless. Because its rage has no off switch, no breaking point. Joker's killer wolf pushed it to the brink, exposed its weaknesses, and came terrifyingly close to victory through chaos and cruelty. But in a brutal Colosseum where only one can walk away, raw, gamma-fueled power proves just enough to overcome insanity. The sand is stained, the pillars are broken, and the crowd will talk about this battle for generations. Not as a simple fight, but as a reminder that when unstoppable force meets unhinged chaos, the outcome is never guaranteed. Today, strength won. Tomorrow, who knows? In this arena, legends are born, and madness is always waiting for another chance. Crossed swords fire.